owner of this mainstream media in the Philippines are the oligarchs. There are the bad businessman in the Philippines. And because of that, our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte penalized them by paying their taxes the rightful way. That's why they are mad with Rodrigo Roa Duterte, because they pay taxes. Before, they can manipulate the tax and pay less. But when Rodrigo Roa Duterte became the president, he said to these oligarchs who owns this mainstream media, "Hoy!" Ano hoy? Pinoy ako! Hindi pala. He said, "Pay your taxes or I will close down your business." Ganon. Ganon. So they pay their taxes. That's why they're mad. They're forming many fake news. You listen to me carefully. You're not listening to me. Why do you think? You listen, you listen. Why do you think majorities of Filipinos still believe in Duterte? Why? If Duterte is really bad, if Duterte is really evil, why until now, amidst all the propaganda of the mainstream media, all the propaganda of Marcos, all of the propaganda of these paid bloggers has no effect to the Dutertes? Because Duterte is really the true hero of this country. He fought against these oligarchs. He fought against these criminals. And he really served without corruption in our country. Now you're telling us he is a dangerous man? You're fool! Gago! I hope this video will go to you. Will, sometimes, you know. Kasi absent ng kabataan, yung anak ng wewe, oh. Huwag kasi absent ng absent. Kaya kayo mga kabataan, huwag kayong nude-nude ng mga kabadingan lang na pinanunood ninyo dyan, Mag-aral kayo para hindi kayo matulad sa English ko, O ito, panoorin nga natin yung komento ni sino ba to? Si Panelo. Ito nga isa sa mga idol natin. Pasok!
In detention, the ICC Appeals Chamber unanimously denied his request for interim release. The Hague-based court rejected his camp's arguments that he should be freed due to his advanced age and alleged declining health. What's next for Mr. Duterte? Let's get on point with his former chief presidential legal counsel, Attorney Salvador Panelo. Attorney Panelo, good to see you again. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time. Were you surprised with the decision of the Appeals Chamber of the ICC?
No. I'm just saying this is a foregone conclusion. In the first place, they forced themselves into this country without jurisdiction. So alam mo na kung ano mangyayari. Plus the cooperation of this government, talagang tuloy-tuloy.
But did you look into the points raised by the defense and, of course, also the prosecution regarding the interim release? Maybe it's good that let's look into them one by one. So, accordingly, yung sabi po ng prosecution, wag ibigay yung interim release. One, because his detention remained necessary. Kailangan siyang manatili doon. Number two, that the conditions proposed for release not sufficient to mitigate risks. Yun po yung second point nung prosecutor. And the third was also rejected that he should be released on humanitarian grounds. So those were their points.
Number one, why is it necessary according to them? Why is it necessary? Ano ba sabi nila? Bakit necessary?
May
reason ba sila? Not necessary?
the influence that he has still. And in fact, that was also said and announced earlier by the appeals chamber. Marami ho silang sinasabi na, I heard it, I read parts of it, and I read it and I heard parts of it because we were also going on air. Ang sabi po nila, Attorney Salis, that often they said that him being a former president, still having authority, and having won as mayor, yun narinig ko yun maybe twice or 3 times, para kung nakasama pa sa kanya.
He was former
kaso.
president. And at the time that he was president, all these accusations had surfaced then. And the witnesses were there. And he didn't lift a finger at all against all of them. So where's the risk?
Oh, that's a good point, ha? Hindi, tama naman eh. Sa lahat na nag-oppose, lahat ng fake news, wala naman ho eh. He was the president, wala naman po siyang pinakulong, pinapatay. Hindi nga katulad ngayon eh. Lahat ng oposisyon, tinatakot, kinakasuhan, yung magsasalita pa yung sekretary na kesyo, si Disyo niyan. Narinig niyo si PRRD ng ganun? Oo, matapang si PRRD, pero ang kanyang tinatakot lang, mga kriminal. Mga oposisyon, wala. Itong gobyerno natin ngayon, walang tinakot na kriminal. Sinabi pa nga, ang mga nagdadrag siya mga yan kasi kailangan sa trabaho. Ano tinakot nila ngayon? Yung mga nagpaparesign kay Marcos, yun ang tinakot nila. Baligtad eh. Kaya napaka-demonyo ng gobyernong to.
Yung mga risks that possibly would have come out would be interference, etc. No? So let's look at...
How can he interfere? Di ba? Unang-una, sabi nila, baka may
network kasi of influence. What do you say to that network of influence?
Malabo nga yun. Kasi kung nung actual president siya, hindi niya ginamit yung influence at yung power. Bakit ngayon na wala siya, gagamitin niya? Walang logic. Tapos yung sinasabi nila yung baka mag-escape, may risk. The man is 80 years old. He cannot even maintain balance. We know that he has plenty of sakit. Paano tatakas? I'm sure kung siyang masusunod, pag na-release siya, gusto niya na lang sa ospital diretso. Ilang gusto niya.
If we were to, I mean, you're obviously very vocal, no, about this justification on the former president, but that's not what obviously the appeals chamber saw. Hindi ho ba? Kaya ni-reject yung kanyang interim release eh.
They will always be seeing the negative side on this issue precisely because at the very inception, ang tawag doon sa basketball, forcing through eh. Wala ka na nga jurisdiction, kaya mo pinilit pumunta rito eh. Talagang target mo si Duterte, walang iba. At nag-participate pa itong gobyerno natin, talagang tuloy-tuloy na yan. Kahit ano sabihin mo, ever since sinasabi ko, wala na yan.
So from the very beginning, alam niyo na the interim release was a no-go?
Kasi nga, yung jurisdiction lang, may problema ka lang sa jurisdiction.
Yeah, but that was already decided upon.
Ang problema, kasi I was my unsolicited advice to the defense lawyers. Kasi napansin ko, ang sinasabi ng chamber, di ba, ang niraise nila is yung ginawa mong, parang kini-request mo yung jurisdiction, ang ground mo lang is that we withdrew and nag-umpisa kayo ng investigation 2 years after. Yun lang, nilimit nila doon. And I said, dagdagan nyo pa. Number one,
anong dapat idagdag?
Dapat ang one jurisdiction mo, number one is yung ground for jurisdiction. The Rome Statute never took effect in this country because of the constitutional requirement of publication. That's
in the
one.
Official Gazette.
May ruling ng Supreme Court doon eh. Yung sa Tabera case. Sinabi na yun, pag hindi mo pinablish yan, walang epekto yan. Number 2, ang sabi ko, dapat dinagdag nyo na yung pinagpipilitan na, kasi sabi nila, hindi, you're still under obligation sa amin kasi we started the investigation. They're referring to the preliminary
examination.
I've been saying
it's called preliminary examination.
Matagal ko nang sinasabi, yung preliminary examination cannot be part of preliminary investigation. You know why? It doesn't discuss the case. What it determined at the time was whether or not the principle of complementarity applies. Because all the states, members of the Rome Statute, hindi sila pwedeng pumasok unless, one, wala silang
Kasapi ka.
kakayahan. No capability. At kung may capability naman, they're not doing it kasi sila yung mga guilty. That's the only time, yun ang dinidetermine nila. In fact, I remember the Solicitor General at the time, nilalabanan nila, excuse me, we have a robust, di ba sila robust legal system. We have, tingnan mo, Pinky, we have prosecuted thousands, we jailed thousands. Ano pa bang prueba na may capacity tayo? Number two, may sinipa tayong presidente, in-exile natin. Number three, dalawang presidente pinakulong natin. Ang libo-libo nakakulong. Paano mo sasabihin wala tayong kakayahan? Doon lang, only on that basis alone, wala na jurisdiction. Kaya dapat ako, sinama niyo yun.
Bakit hindi sinama? As you were suggesting.
Hindi ko na alam yun. Ang problema kasi sa kanila,
Sino ba sila, sir?
yung mga defense lawyers na mga dayuhan, ayaw nila kasi yung magpapasok ng Filipino lawyer. They were relying principally on the former president. Sila na nga nagsasabi may cognitive decline. So kung ano mga tatanong nila, baka nakalimutan na nung mama.
Is it also possible that the arguments that you raised to them may seem weak?
Ay, anong week? Napakalakas nga.
To them, I said, may seem
Aba, hindi
weak.
mo pwede. You have to follow. Kasi yung domestic law prevails over international law. Yun ang pinaka-importante ron. You cannot interfere in the jurisdiction of a country unless that country...
Alam mo, may point din ito talaga si Panelo, no? Medyo sana nga magkaroon ng advisor itong si Kaufman na alam ang konteksto sa Pilipinas. Kasi actually maraming ako nababasa na medyo nagagalit o naiinis kay Kaufman. Parang ganon. Although, again, I think bago kahit sino pang abogadong ilagay mo dyan, ay mukhang masasabi nating luto na yung kaso. Mukhang, kasi una-una nakipagkuntsabahan Nakipagkuntsabahan ang ICC at itong si Marcos. Kung gusto nyo malaman ng buong istorya niyan, may live si si Sas Roganda. Sorry, hindi ko nakalimutan ko na. Basta, si Sas, meron siyang live dyan. At sinasabi nga niya, may letter na sinulat ang ating gobyerno sa ICC. May confidential letter. Tapos, tsaka daw doon in-issue yung warrant. So, para bagang may ni-request, parang gano'n na sinasabi ni Sas. Parang merong confidential na ni-request. Ibig sabihin, nagkuntsabahan yung dalawa. So, mukhang luto na ho itong pangyayari na ito na maaaring kahit palitan pa si Kaufman, baka wala ring epekto. Although maganda yung suggestion ni Panelo na sana kumuha ng advisor na sa local. Especially ako, suggestion ko it's either Panelo o si Roque, di ba? Kasi mas naiintindihan ng konteksto ng Pilipinas at mas naiintindihan siguro yung kalalagayan. Yung naging parte kasi ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Duterte.
Allows you. And this is a particular case where they allow. Pero may kondisyon. Papasok kayo sa amin kasi wala kaming kakayahan. Or may kakayahan man kami, mga siraulo yung mga nandun, kaya hindi ipoprosecute. That's the only time. Kasi if we will agree with their theory, ay wala nang country na maaaring lumabas sa kanilang jurisdiction. Kasi palagi nilang sinasabi, from the time a case is filed, we have jurisdiction. Isus Mario Joseph. Eh di wala na pala. Absolute na pala. Kasi kahit anong sabi mong wala kayong jurisdiction on this ground, hindi na pwede kasi nag-file. We determine, nag-preliminary, hindi na kayo po pwede.
There was a decision made on that.
Absolute na pala yung authority nyo. So sinira nyo yung jurisdiction ng lahat ng bansa na miyembro nyo. Hindi hindi naman po pwede yun.
So what could be next? Because there's still a motion on the unfit to stand trial. Basically, ang sabi ng defense, tigilan na natin yung let's stop the proceedings because the former president is unfit to stand trial.
Good you mentioned that kasi I've been criticizing the chamber. Sabi nila, we're denying because the accused wasn't able to prove that he is mentally unfit. Sabi ko, excuse me, bakit ang accused magpo-prove? He is a controlled environment. Nakakulong eh. He has no access to medical equipment, medical expertise. Kayo yun eh. ICC kaya dapat from the very
Why do you say he
beginning.
has no access to medical
How can he
doctors?
How can he has that?
They're big
Nakakulong
on, malaki po sila on the medical condition of the respondents that they are keeping detained there.
Ang sinasabi nila, meron naman kaming doktor, di ba?
Yeah, we have a
meron
round-the-clock
kaming
nurse.
Si Presidente Duterte, bago nila inaresto, ilan ba ang nurses niya? 3. 24 hours, palit-palit.
Shifting of
Yeah,
8
may
hours
doktor pa.
each.
Ay doon, meron kang nurse sa nurse station. Hindi mo binabantayan yung pasyente mo. Napakadelikado ng sitwasyon niya. Kaya sabi ko, kayo dapat ang mag-prove na mentally fit yan.
But isn't that the reason why they got 3 independent medical doctors to look into the former
Tinanggal
president?
nila yung isa.
2 na po yung tinanggal nila.
But
They
that
took out 1, pinalitan, and then yung pinalitan.
Yes, but that came
pinalitan
later after they've been criticized severely yung kanilang ginawa na bakit yung accused ang pinapaprove mo na unfit siya? Kayo dapat yung from the very start, nung dinitay nyo pa lang yan, dapat in-examine nyo na yan.
But they did. They did examine him, right?
Pero kung totoo yun, bakit nagpapa-examine na naman silang panibago? Sige nga.
Because of the motion of Attorney Kaufman
Exactly.
that he is unfit to stand trial.
Exactly.
That came from the defense. That did not
Teka
come
muna.
from the prosecution.
Exactly. Kung in-examine mo na yan, kahit ka pa mag-file ng motion, kung ako judge, excuse me, in-examine na namin yan. He's mentally fit. The fact alone na you allowed yourself to grant such motion, you're admitting na hindi mo in-examine nun.
Well,
Yan,
of course,
kaya may
you have to
problema.
grant the motion because it was a motion or an application coming from the defense. Alam nga naman, hindi mo pansinin yun.
Oo
Diba?
nga, pero
At saka one more thing, Attorney Sal, no? The former president was there in March, hindi ho ba? So chinek siya, he seemed okay. Obviously, that's why he remained there. From March till November, or from the time that the unfit to stand trial was filed by the defense, I believe that was sometime September 10, maybe the first week of September, kasi dapat yung confirmation of charges na September 23. They filed that motion, unfit to stand trial. My question is, from the time of March till September, that possibly, I'm assuming, was the time that Attorney Kaufman, the defense team, and said that throughout this time, here is the former president now unfit to stand trial. There was a decline.
Kasi nga, dapat from the time na na-aresto yan, in-examine mo na thoroughly yan, considering na marami siyang nararamdaman. Pero hindi naman nila ginawa yan. Ordinaryong examination, yung blood pressure, okay
I
ba?
don't think so, sir. How do you know
Hindi.
that?
Kung totoo yung sinasabi nila, bakit mo nga pina-examine uli?
Okay, we're not
Because you can always deny the motion, Pinky, on the ground now. Excuse me, you have already examined that thoroughly. This is the report.
Yeah, but they at some point when they decide on this, Attorney Panelo, they can deny that motion of unfit to stand trial. But let's first take a breather. We're gonna take a very short break. We'll be right back.
Ayaw tumanggap ni Pinky. Bakit kaya ayaw tumanggap ni Pinky? Galit na galit.
Welcome back. Now we have on the line ICC Assistant to Counsel Attorney Christina Conti. Attorney Conti,
Yan,
welcome to
tapos
the
siyang
show.
kakampihan. Tingnan nyo.
Much for your time.
Good evening, Pinky.
Okay, just a quick reaction from your end regarding the decision of the appeals chamber.
We're absolutely satisfied. It was a unanimous decision to reject, deny the appeal of Duterte. And sabi nga ng mga biktima, mukhang makakapagpasko sila ng kahit paano masaya.
Attorney Conti, some of the points now raised, which Attorney Salvador Panelos here also beside me, and he was raising it as well. yung mga issues, kasi just to give a little bit of a background, no, dito sa naging appeal ng defense regarding the decision of the pretrial chamber on the interim release. Sabi ng pretrial, his detention remains necessary. That the conditions proposed for the release are not sufficient to mitigate risks, no? And then the third was rejected, that he should be released through humanitarian reasons. Yun po sabi ng pretrial chamber. We're not going to allow it because of those points. Before I go to the defense argument, you know, Attorney Panelo also here, as mentioned a while ago, saying, anong risks? Ano pa ba ang risks? And when I answered him, because I heard it during the appeals chamber decision, sabi nga na meron pa siyang network of influence, dating Pangulo, at ngayon ay nanalo pa na mayor ng Davao. Tama ho ba yung aking rinig, Attorney Conti?
Yes, that's precisely it. It's that Duterte still enjoys influence within the Philippines, and not only influence, he and his family, his associates, lagi nababanggit nyo, no? Associates and network. So it's not...
Grabe, no? Hindi nila matanggap talaga eh. Iniisip pa rin nila. Eto, ganyan katindi at yung power ni PRRD. Nakakulong na siya. Iniisip pa ng ICC. Iniisip pa nitong taon to na meron talagang matinding network and influence si Pangulong Duterte. Maniniwala pa sana ako kung bati si Marcos at saka si VP Sara Duterte, maniniwala pa sana ako. Pero hindi naman na sila eh. I mean, hindi na sila unit team. Magkaaway na nga sila. Ginigipit na nga si VP Sara Duterte. So saan kukuha ng power si Pangulong Duterte? Grabe antindi na, hindi, sa loob ko, antindi ng influence ni Pangulong Duterte at power niya. Hindi nyo sinasabi yan kay BBM. Ba't ganun? Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, mas may kapangyarihan pa si Pangulong Duterte, mas may impluensya pa siya para makatakas siya at makabalik sa Pilipinas kaysa sa Pangulo na nakaupo ngayon? Ganon?
Simply him. That was actually one of the defense